Hey guys, this is Donna Jones for Spotlight TV, and I'm so excited to have the very talented, the very beautiful Betty Who.
Yes, good to see you.
How are you?
I'm okay, I'm good.
I know you've been kind of going nonstop since you've been here. I want to talk about just your personality because I've looked at some interviews and just your little YouTube videos, and I'm like, you have the most amazing personality.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it just resonates and comes
so
through
much.
the TV.
Stop.
Like, do you get that?
Oh my gosh, Donna. Thank you very much. I don't know, it's not really something that you work on, I guess. It's just, it's been a part of kind of my brand, I guess. I started kind of thinking about it when I started making music. I was like, I want people to know who I am. You know, I want to be friends with the fans.
And that's how you are all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I have my moments of being like a scary monster, kind of like Godzilla stomping on Little Tokyo is kind of like my embodiment of when I'm not in a good mood. But no, I try and be as available and open with, you know, the fans and whoever I meet, just because I think that's the best way to be.
And the song, of course, Somebody Loves You, which is playing everywhere and it's just going crazy right now. Everyone is loving it. It always puts me in a good mood because I'm driving in the car and I'm listening to it, and the first time I heard it, I was like, oh, okay. And then next thing I know, I'm just like, I love that song.
Thank you.
Where did that come from? Because
Somebody
the songs, the words are a little deep. It's very catchy, but when you listen to it, what's going on there?
Somebody Loves You is actually a breakup song when I wrote it. Which is crazy to think about now because it's totally turned into this like otherworldly thing. But I wrote it about a boy that I was kind of seeing for a little while, and I felt like he kind of didn't give me enough credit. I kind of was like, I'm here for you all the time, and like you're not paying like stop being like my life is so hard. It's like I'm literally right here. Like I'm here with you. We're in this together. And I didn't think that he kind of got that from me. And so that was kind of what the song was about. It was like it was like shaking him, being like, somebody loves, like, I'm here, I'm paying attention. And now it's kind of funny because it's just like this cute love song. And I'm like, well, that's good too. That works too. I like that better.
Everyone's dancing to it, and it's like, you do know it's a breakup
right,
song,
exactly.
right?
No, it works. This works for me better, I think. This is far more exciting to me.
Definitely. Every artist has their discovery story. What was yours? Like, when was that moment that you were like, this is it?
I think, actually speaking of Somebody Loves You, it was, there was a viral video that it was in. It was in a video of a man proposing to his boyfriend in a Home Depot in Salt Lake City. And they used a flash mob, and this video started getting all these views, and it was like a viral video, whatever. It like went totally viral. I think I had like 12 million views after the first couple days.
Wow.
And my song was the song in the video. And the day that video went up, it changed a lot. You know, I had been talking to a bunch of record labels for a while, and when the video started to go viral, my poor manager, like everybody was calling him.
I bet her song, I mean, her phone was off the hook.
Insane, and we were just sitting there being like, this is the craziest thing that's ever happened. We have to run with it, right? And so the timeline of it was the video went up on a Thursday. It was viral officially by Friday. I think Saturday night or Friday night I had a show in Brooklyn that was my last show that I played as an unsigned artist, and then Sunday night at like 10:30 p.m. I went into Sony and signed my record deal. Wow. So it happened very quickly.
That's 24 hours.
Right.
That's a big difference.
That's like
So have
crazy.
you settled into Betty Who? Like, do you still have your moments like, I can't believe this is happening?
I think I have those moments once in a while. But I think I definitely still have those moments once in a while where I'm like, this is totally crazy, and I can't believe this is happening. But I think it is go, go, go. I haven't really had a chance to not be that way yet, which is I think it's probably a good thing, because if I had too much time off, I think I would overthink everything and get really scared and freaked out. So I think it's probably a good thing that like everything's been moving so fast, and I've been working so hard, and I've been trying to work really hard and touring a lot, that you know, by the time I kind of actually get a chance to sit back, and I'll have something to look at. I won't be sitting back and being like, oh no, I haven't done anything. I'll look back and go like, I've been working really hard, and like, look at everything I've accomplished. How cool is that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So with Take Me When You Go, this was your first full-length album.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that and kind of all the songs that are on that album.
Take Me When You Go was kind of like an accumulation of a couple years of writing, because the song Somebody Loves You is on the record, even though it came out a couple years ago. on my first ever EP. And we did that because I had 2 EPs out, and then when the record came out, I was kind of like, these 2 EPs were still are really important to me, and I didn't want to act like they never came out, kind of, and I wanted my first record to be like, if you've never heard the EPs and you listen to the album, here's the information you need. Like, here's a synopsis of the first 2 EPs, plus new music.
Right.
So there were 5 songs on the album that had already been out. And then the rest of the songs I wrote in about a month's time, so it wasn't very long.
Oh, wow.
I was in Los Angeles, and I wrote with a couple different people who were all like musical and writing inspirations to me. So I kind of had this very cool, like, this is my first record, and I'm sitting in a room with Claude Kelly or Martin Johnson or Star Smith or, you know, whoever I was with. I was like, this is crazy, because like when I was a freshman in college, I went to go see Claude Kelly talk about songwriting. Like, I went to one of his seminars.
Wow.
And then like 3 years later, I was sitting in a room with him, and we
That's
were writing
crazy.
a song on the record, and I was like, this is cool.
So are you like a little nervous about how your music will translate to your fans? Because, or should I say the Who crew?
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel like, what do you want them to get out of this?
I think the thing about the album is that it's, you know, the stories are true. Mm-hmm. You know, the songs are about real life events that happened to me, and I try and keep it really honest without being too specific, because I want anybody to be able to hear it and go, oh my gosh, like that song reminds me of this thing that happened to me. Yeah. And I think that that's really important, and my favorite songs are the songs that I listen to and I'm like, it's like you wrote this about me, you know, but I think it still has to be really honest, and that's kind of, I look at myself and try and stay true to the idea that I am a storyteller. You know, that's my number one goal, is to tell stories that are important and moving and expressive for me. You know, songwriting is also a form of therapy for me, and I think for everybody. As you're a songwriter and you write a song that's like about this thing that it's in your life, and you write it and you're like, this is awesome, and it's this like whole thing where you're like, oh my gosh, like I just got this thing off my chest without kind of really even meaning to, and this is like a really powerful song because I'm feeling really powerful right now, and it's like crazy. So I think that like I just want that to translate to fans, and I want somebody to be able to hear it and go like, oh my gosh, like I know what that feels like. Or like,
and in speaking about that and giving so much to your music and so much to your fans, is there any part of your life that you're not ready to share?
I'm not super protective of my relationships. You know, I will tweet something being like, my boyfriend just said this or whatever. But I don't really like posting a lot of photos of him or you know, something about opening up my relationship to social media and to scrutiny on social media makes me really anxious. And I haven't really explored it enough, and also my fans are very nice. So I don't like have this like massive fan base of people who are like talking smack about me. It's like, I'm really fine. So I'm like, if I was to post a bunch of cute photos of me and my boyfriend, it'd be like totally fine.
Right.
But I think just for me, there's something that's like, I want it to be a little more private. I want there to be this like little piece of my life that is kind of more sacred. You know, and I'm sure people will find out eventually, and someone will post a photo, whatever, you know, it'll all come crashing down on me eventually. But no, you know, it's for now, it's kind of nice to have that anonymity in that.
Right. You said, I love that you said, music is a way to say anything you want with a catchy hook. What's your process when you start writing?
Every song is different, you know, it's not the same. But kind of to get down to like the actual just like writing, like here's how it goes usually for me. I like to start with melodies, because I think that once you get a vibe for a song going, if it's kind of like dancey and upbeat, but the melody has something kind of like sad about it, and you do all of that and you're kind of just like vibing on what feels really good. Because I think that your intuition, like I think that we as writers probably don't give ourselves, I mean we like collectively, like the writers of the world, don't give ourselves enough credit for how important our intuition is in writing. Because when you're singing a melody over something, like initially already you're going to be like, this has a connotation to me. And so I was just writing a song in LA like a couple months ago, and we kind of did the melody for it, and I was like, to me this song has this feeling, and I started talking about like, it feels like you've been in a relationship and you're trying to, like maybe this person isn't totally committed to you yet, and you're like getting tired of it, and you're like, hey, come here, like be with me now, like it's time, or I'm gonna go. And I was like, that's how this feels to me, and everyone was like, yeah, I like that, and then we kind of started talking, because everyone's had that experience, you know? And so we kind of started talking about that, and then the lyrics started coming. So I definitely like to kind of try and feel it out if that's not too kind of like existential or
No,
heebie-jeebie.
I mean,
but I think it's,
I get it.
because, you know, like you
it.
hear a sad song sometimes and you're like, oh, I'm not even listening to the lyrics and I know this is a sad song.
Right.
So I try and follow that.
You said in an interview, when all else fails, listen to mom.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that because I get career advice from my mom. I mean, it's something about moms that they have this intuition and they,
Totally.
I mean, and even at times when I doubt myself, I feel like, you know, she will be like, no, keep going,
Mm-hmm.
you know, change this or do, I'm like, okay, mom.
Yeah.
You know, how, for you, you know, why is that important?
My mom is one of the most intelligent women I've ever met. Not only just like book smart and street smart, but her emotional capacity and her ability to sit and turn inward and say,
Wow.
why did I say that? Or why do you feel that way? And what did I do to affect you that way? And like, she has an incredible ability to put words to feelings.
Wow.
Which I think is something that everybody, I struggle with it. And like, we as animals feel things that we're like, why am I crazy right now? And you're like, I don't know. And like, I feel insane, but it's for a reason. Like, I'm not just feeling this for no reason.
Yeah.
Whether it's like hormones or like you did something to make me
Yeah.
angry and now I'm freaking out. And I think that I'm still getting better at it. And like,
Right.
I'm young, so I have a little bit of time, but like, I think I learned that at an early age from my mother being like, it's really important to articulate how you feel.
Yeah.
Because nobody is a mind reader. Nobody can tell you, you know.
Because my mom says that, like, you know, that's why sometimes why people say curse words, or it's like you can't articulate what it is you're feeling, so you just get mad and you
Right.
just go off.
Right.
But that is important.
Yeah, and
That
I
is
think I
important.
learned from her especially that, and it's helped me in every aspect of my life, whether
Wow.
it's personal relationships or my music and creativity or business, you know, everything. I think it is so much more important to say, instead of like blowing up at somebody or like getting mad for no reason, you know, I think one of the biggest things that she has taught me is that like emotions have value and like you feel things for a reason, and to not let it just like go and not, you know, either say something or like be like, okay, I'm done with feeling that. I don't need to feel angry right now because I don't need to have that conversation with you. But if I'm angry, I need to talk to you about it. You know, I think that it's we live in an age where like texting is easier than like having a conversation.
Yeah,
So
I've had emotional and deep conversations over text, and I'm like, I'm not doing
Right,
this.
exactly.
Call me. 'Cause
Right.
It's like a cop out.
Right, totally. Even calling, you're like, we're not even face to face right now. Like, I think that's something that my mom gave me is like, I think I'm pretty good at talking to somebody really honestly, like face to face, and being like, hey, here's how you make me feel. And like, whether that's, you know, someone at my record label or my boyfriend or my best friend, you know, I think it's like, this is how I'm feeling right now and this is what I want to do to fix it.
What are you afraid of?
Oh my gosh, everything. No, I am afraid of not staying true to myself, definitely. I think that I'm afraid that I'm going to have too many ideas and have too many people talking at me that like a year from now I'll sit and look at the record that I made and go, wait, that wasn't what I wanted. I think that's like one of the scariest things is to get too caught up in what you're doing.
Yes, absolutely.
And I value honesty and creativity so much that I do get nervous that I'm not, you know, sometimes I have to like reality check myself. And I get really scared of that. I get really scared of losing myself. You know, a long time ago, I made my parents promise that no matter what happened, like if I had 10 fans or 10,000 fans or 10 million fans, like they would always make me be a good person.
Wow.
Because I think that's like the scariest part is when you meet, you know, everyone's like, you should never meet your idol. Like that shouldn't be how it is.
Yeah.
You know,
some people get disappointed when they do meet
I've
their
had
idol.
that happen to
and
me.
it's just like, whoa, like this is not what I thought this moment would be like.
I've met people who I've been obsessed with for forever, and I went in not like as a fan, being like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with you, being like, we're at the same event right now or something, and I say hi to them, and it's like, they're kind of cold, and you're like, oh no, that's so sad, and you have like a bad experience with somebody, and then, you know, I think that that's never how it should be, and you catch people on off days all the time, and all of that being said,
but this is what you signed up for, and to the person that's meeting you, it's like you're everything.
Yeah.
But to
you,
you
it's
meeting
just
them, it's like
another
another fan. And I think artists have to remember that. Like, this is my moment that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life, and I'm going to talk about the day I met Betty Who.
Because you talk, I mean, like, I talk about the day that, like, when I was 10 years old, I used to tell the story all the time about when I met Sporty Spice. You know, like, that was like the craziest day of my whole life. And, like, that's how people, you know, treat their favorite artists. And I think that I just always want to walk away, you know, being a good person. Whether or not I'm having a bad day and someone could go, she was mean, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm having the worst day ever, and I'm so sorry. But, like, at the end of the day, I want to be able to go to bed and like myself.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you've opened for Katy Perry.
Yes, Katy.
Katy
Perry. Yes, I have.
Katy Perry. So are you getting ready to tour with her, or?
I just toured with her. Yeah,
okay.
I toured with her in November, and then so I was all in Australia. We did a month in Australia.
Wow.
And in the homeland.
Nice.
It was pretty cool. So I did a month with Katy, and then I had a little bit of time off, and then I went and did a Kylie Minogue tour in all of the same cities that I did with Katy in Australia. And then I came back, and now I'm touring with Kaiser right now, and I have my show in DC tonight. And then we finished the Kaiser tour in a couple days. We're almost done, and then I have a very small amount of time off, and then I go back on tour over the summer for my Convertible Nights headlining tour.
Wow. So when you tour, just I know that must be absolutely grueling. Is there anything that you like to take with you or have with you, or anything that you like? Bag of Skittles, or you know, something.
Yeah, I mean,
it kind of reminds you maybe of home.
It's actually, funnily enough, like randomly, I have developed this like deep love for Tim Hortons in Canada. And so, like, on tour, whenever we're in Canada, I'm like, we have to stop at Tim Hortons, and I'm getting Timbits, and nobody can tell me anything else. I am getting those tiny little mini donuts that are these, like, glorious, magnificent, tiny little balls of pastry that have changed my life. I don't know what it is. I had these birthday cake ones the other day. They were crazy. So I don't know why I'm not, you know, I'm not Canadian. I don't know what it is, but I've just, like, developed this love for it, and I feel like I'm an honorary Canadian because I love Tim Hortons so much.
Awesome. So last question. So if I was to go, but I've never been to Australia, I would absolutely love to go.
Have to go.
So if I was to go, where should I go? Like, favorite food?
I mean, I'm a Sydney girl. Okay. So I'll tell you, gotta go to Sydney. I have a friend who works at this restaurant called Sokio in Sydney that's like a part of the casino downtown. And it's some of the best sushi I've ever had in my whole life.
I love sushi. Oh my God.
It's like
I love sushi.
Crazy. Not only sushi, but like everything at the restaurant is kind of like melt in your mouth level of food.
Wow.
And my dad is like has traveled the world. He's like traveled for business for a long time, so he's like had sushi everywhere. And when I took him there, he was like, "This is it's like the best food I've ever had."
Oh wow.
So if I was gonna send you to like a baller, like really nice restaurant, I would send you to Sokio in Sydney.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who does Betty Who listen to?
I listen to a lot of people. I'm obsessed with Ariana Grande right now.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And it's so, I don't know when it happened, it just like took me over. Because I liked her always. I liked the way when it came out, it was kind of just like, but I wasn't like, I was just like chilling on it. Mm-hmm. And it's like all I listened to. I don't know what's going on. I'm like I'm having my Ariana moment.
I have to check her music out.
I'm having my Ariana moment. I love this song that's at radio right now. It's called One Last Time. It's really great. You should listen to it. It's a little more chill. It's great.
Okay.
But you know, I listen to a lot of singer-songwriters. It's kind of where I started making music as a singer-songwriter, like with my guitar, piano, like singing these songs.
Wow.
So my kind of go-to inspirations and like people that I still listen to and still have albums that are timeless to me are Joni Mitchell and Carole King and Patty Griffin. Wow. And you know, even more recently, I loved John Mayer. I loved Katy Perry's a singer-songwriter. Right. I love her. You know, I loved Sarah Bareilles. These people who were writing, you know, I think it's just like it's about honest songs. Whether you're Katy Perry or Joni Mitchell or Michael Jackson or Whitney Houston or Cyndi Lauper, you know, those are all people that I listen to and I love. And I kind of fall back in love with every time I listen to them. I also love Usher a lot.
Oh,
he is my boo.
Yeah, no, he's my boo.
Yeah, okay, so we're gonna have to have a whole conversation about this.
Yes.
I love Drake deeply. I deeply love Drake. It's a feeling. And I love Nicki Minaj's new record too.
Okay.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of music. I'm like, I don't go in a room and there's no music playing, I'm like have a panic attack. I'm like constantly playing music. Yeah, always.
Oh wow, because music definitely puts you. I mean, it can take you so many different places.
Oh, totally.
So I totally understand.
Yeah.
You are absolutely amazing.
Thank
Continued
you so
success.
much. Thank you.
It was so wonderful
So
meeting
nice
you.
to meet
Thank
you.
you
Yes,
so much.
thank you for having me.
This is Donna Jones with Betty Who.